Who am I and what am I doing? My name is Vicki, and I am a compulsive overeater and an alcoholic, and I want to recover. And to that end, my job today is to trust God, clean house, and help others. Today, we are going to talk about condiments and sauces. Now, some of these sauces are going to be considered 2 servings of fat for a meal. And some of these are going to be considered the term that we've been saying since the 90s and early 2000s. It's free, but we'll talk about that. All right, welcome to my pantry, and let's get saucing. So let's start with this. Vicki, why do you weigh and measure your food? Well, I am a compulsive overeater and I am an alcoholic. For me, they are very married. I cannot get into the food without getting into the alcohol, and I cannot get into the alcohol without getting into the food. And I can play that tape forward and know the misery that I would be in. It's a misery back guarantee when you work a 12-step program of recovery. Isn't that great? Weighing and measuring my food is a clear boundary. It gives me a freedom of knowing that this is what I need to live healthy and survive, and let my body do what it actually knows how to do, that me and my best decisions definitely do not. I'd have to say I weigh about 90% of everything. Oh wait, what's that 10%? We can talk about some of those other things. It's maybe grabbing a piece of fruit and trusting that this is clear, honest, and intentional, and we're on our way. It could be also eating out at a restaurant and not bringing my scale, but knowing what a potato, servings of vegetable, and a serving of protein should be, and sticking to that. But we'll talk about that later. The most spiritual thing I can do each day in my 12-step program of recovery, which is a spiritual program, is to weigh and measure my food as a surrender to the fact that I don't know the best way to take care of myself, but I am going to trust that my higher power has given me the solution. And if I do actions I maybe don't believe in, but I get results I cannot deny, that's a miracle. And it happens for me every day. It keeps me in a place of sanity. It keeps me away from craving and obsessing about things that used to control my every moment and every day. Every decision I ever made revolved around my next high of eating and my next high of drinking. So, that being said, ponder those thoughts, and let's move on to some wonderful sauces and condiments. All right, here we go. First sauce of the day. We're going to make horseradish sauce. If you like wasabi, the green stuff that comes wasabi, most wasabi is actually made with horseradish. And it's basically what it is green colored horseradish. So that's an indicator, if you've had that you might like horseradish. But we are going to make it with 2 servings of fat. For me and many of my fellows, we follow pretty much the same food program. Sometimes they're customized through your nutritional list to be right for you with the amount of exercise that you do and all of those types of things. In general, for me, 2 servings of fat at lunch and dinner is what I do. So here's where we're going to start. We're going to start with our scale. Basic info on scale, turn on your scale. Check your units that it's at. I do fluid ounces, or it can be pounds and ounces. And then we're going to put our little mixing bowl. Whatever you have works. All right, put it on your scale and hit tare. With that, it zeroes out, so you can see you're back at 0. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to put 2 ounces, 2 fat servings, 1 ounce of sour cream is a fat for me. So we are going to do 2 ounces of sour cream, weighed and measured. And yeah, it's down to the oomph. If we go to 2.1, that is not 2. So we got our 2 ounces of sour cream. And then we are going to take a jar of prepared horseradish. You will find this usually near like the sour cream. It's going to be kind of the dairy section of the store. Sometimes you may find it in the deli. If you're not sure where to find it, definitely ask. But it will clear out your sinuses. It's bold. It's got a little heat. It's amazing. So now that we have 2 of that, I'm going to do this kind of per what I like. I kind of like a lot. So this is probably a true tablespoon. I am one of those, I don't measure a lot of stuff. So it is a level tablespoon. So I just want to show you guys that in case you are looking for those clear and honest things. Now, with that, you could maybe add just a dash of garlic powder. You don't have to. And some restaurants, when this is served with prime rib, they add a dash of ground cayenne pepper to add to that heat. I'm good with just this. And I'm going to mix it together. And this is a mix and it's ready to eat type substance. Could you make a small batch of it and have a couple servings in a container? Yes. Will horseradish permeate in your refrigerator if you forget about it for a week and you open it up and you go, what's that smell? Yes, it will. It will permeate even through Tupperware now and then. But again, you're going to make like a serving or 2 and eat them in a timely manner. So that is it. This is sauce number 1. I love this with steak. I love this with I put it on my vegetables, I put it on my baked potato, and I put it on my steak. Sometimes I am queen of putting everything in a bowl. All of my wonderful roasted vegetables or steamed vegetables, I thin slice up my steak, and I slice up my potato, put it in there, and then I would just kind of glob this on and just enjoy it. So it's all in how you want to do. But this is the first one, and it is that simple, and it's so much flavor. Enjoy. Next on the list is Remoulaud. It's my variation of a Remoulaud sauce. So Remoulaud is a French, this is Rosalind, and that was Stuart. Thank you, Roz. Okay, it's a French sauce that was originally, you'll find it will say mayonnaise and seasoning, adapted into the South, like Louisiana, Creole, cooking, things like that. Often served with seafood, and it's just very delicious. And we are going to use a variation. We're using our sour cream because sometimes mayonnaise can be a little triggering. I will tell you this, Hellmann's mayonnaise does have sugar, and it lights up my brain like, woohoo! I get a little too excited about food and having that again when I have it. So I do use Duke's mayonnaise, which does not have sugar. But for this recipe, we are going to use sour cream. So we are going to start with our scale, zeroing it out, turning it on, and we are going to do our 2 ounce serving of sour cream. 2.0 on the, 1.9. Yeah, we play that little scale game. All right, 2.2 ounces of sour cream is already. Now, next, Old Bay seasoning. This is a great staple. It has no sugar. Very important to know. You guys, check your spices. Check your spices. The number 2 ingredient on a certain brand of seasoned salt is sugar. It's in everything. You got to watch. Old Bay seasoning has no sugar, and they do make a lower sodium variety. I would shake and just dump. That's how I cook. But for anybody new, I want to give you the confidence of seeing what real measurement is like. We're going to start with just under 1 teaspoon just a little bit scant, as we say in cooking, just a little under, a little at or more could be too much. So we got that going. And then stone ground mustard. That's my personal favorite. You can also use a Dijon mustard. Check your ingredients for sugar. Check your ingredients. I can tell you that Worcestershire sauce is made with sugar. That's why it's so delicious on everything. So don't use Worcestershire. So stone ground mustard, I'm going to say it's going to be at least 2 teaspoons. I'm going to make the second one heaping. I like a good amount. I could almost probably do like a whole tablespoon because I enjoy it. All right, so that is it. We're going to mix this together. And in looking at it, I'm going to bump my own up. Taste it. We do not get into we taste everything. We really don't. If this is the first time that you're making it, that's understandable. A little dab and move on. But we do not just taste things because we like to. The best thing to do is try to not eat anything from your fingers. Use a fork. But all right, added just probably another teaspoon. So we're at 3 teaspoons of the stone ground mustard. All right, and that is it. That is remoulade sauce. Spritzing with a little lemon juice will make it even brighter. It's a very bright and bold taste. Again, I love it on chicken. I love it on seafood. Sometimes we have shrimp in our home. Sometimes we do a nice fish. It's great on vegetables and on your potato. It's just a wonderful sauce, a nice variation from just sour cream. And it's good. So that is it. That's my remoulade. All right. Next on our list is Thousand Island dressing / sauce / yeah. I was a fast food queen when it came to my compulsive overeating, food addictness. And so it really hadn't tried this until I was a good year into my program because I just wanted to be sure like it wouldn't take me down a rabbit hole of just wanting to eat this over and over and over. And the good news is that it's every now and then I think, oh, we should make that and have burgers salad night. So it is not triggering for me because the food, the ingredients are very clear and clean. So without further ado, here we go. We're going to start with sour cream and our scale, making sure that it's at 0. I'm going to weigh and measure 2 ounces, 1.9. You guys, I'm serious. When you all of a sudden have been weighing and measuring and you do it the first time and you hit it exact, you're like, yes! And then you tell all of your friends in the program, look what I did, first try, woohoo! So next we are going to do relish, pickle relish or pickle. Dill, not sweet, because hey, guess what? There's sugar in the sweetened, right? But before you bring it home, you're going to want, this one is a Walmart brand, you're going to want to check ingredients that nothing says sugar and nothing says dextrose or anything else, honey, that might be. Typically with dill, there's not typically sugar. But this one does have something gum in it. And so that really does tell me like there's probably ingredients in this that I don't need. But for as often as the once every couple of months that I make this, I don't consider it a problem. We're going to take what would be a tablespoon and throw that in. The other option is to buy pickles. The way I follow program, one can be a condiment, or it should be also weighed as a vegetable. So talk to your sponsor about how that's all going to work out. This happens to be from Aldi, kosher dill spears. There is no sugar in it. So you could take half of a pickle, dice it up fine, throw it in with your sour cream. Next is going to be ketchup. Primal makes many great varieties of products that do not have sugar and do not have much of any kind of stuff in it that we really don't want in our body. Now, that being said, this one says unsweetened. They do make one that is sweetened with honey. That is a no for me, for us. And they make one that I think somebody makes one that's got basically, sweetener in it. We want to avoid that too. So we're unsweetened ketchup. For anybody who has been in programming a while and hasn't had ketchup, this is really sweet for us, which is exciting. So I am doing a measured tablespoon, which typically is going to be about half an ounce, depending on what kind of product. So we have ketchup, pickles, sour cream. We're going to mix that together. If you can let this stand 10 minutes before using it, you might have a little more melded flavor, but otherwise it is really ready to go. Some people use mayonnaise as a base for this, and I'm telling you, an ounce of mayonnaise is not one serving, it's probably two. So I prefer sour cream. Mayonnaise can be a slippery slope for me as well. Again, fast food, everything was covered in mayonnaise. Hellmann's mayonnaise does have sugar. It lights up my brain to an excitement level of, ooh, I can't wait to have that again. And ooh, we should have that again. That's how I begin to know, like, wait a minute, why is this so exciting? It's because there's something in it that's making the craving spike in my brain. So when I do use mayonnaise, I use Duke's. It does not have sugar. Duke's is a product that is from the South and the East. It is new in Minnesota of 2020, 24, and 25. So it is out there. All right. So here we have the sauce Eau de Mac. Great, again, on salads. Any of these sauces, if you're watching the series, can be reduced down with just a little bit of water if you wanted a little bit more fluid for a salad dressing type. So, all right, that's it. Great for a burger salad night, and whatever else you think you might want it on. All right, that's it. All right, so here we go. One more sauce for you today. We are going to talk about a sauce that is kind of like an onion and chive, almost dip-like sensation. So I want to introduce to you from Penzeys, Fox Point. Fox Point seasoning has a salt mixed into it. So it's a good salty dip, ranch dressing maybe-ish base. But it is clean. There is no sugar, no preservatives, anything really icky in it. But I also want to introduce to you Sunny Paris, because Sunny Paris is pretty much all the seasoning that's Fox Point, but no salt. So for me, using a teaspoon of this can be overly salty in my sour cream, so I do a little bit of each. So we're going to start with the Fox. Well, first we're going to start with our sour cream. 1.8. Next, Fox Point. I am going to, and you can kind of see the salt, so I'm going to do more like just one soft, level teaspoon. And now going over to the Sunny Paris, that is more of just the spice without the salt. And I'm going to also add one of that. Otherwise, 2 teaspoons of Fox Point, but it's going to be really salty. So you could just do Sunny Paris. If you could buy just the one without salt and add your own salt, it's up to you. Penzeys is a great place for looking for unique spices and blends. So keep that in mind. Just watch for things that have sugar, though. All right. So I'm going to mix this together. Huge shout out to Manny, who is one of my fellows in program, who is also shares this spices, Penzi spices a lot. So, all right, that's it. Now, it's nice and it's thick. If I wanted to, I could water it down with just a teaspoon or two of water to make it a little bit more fluid for dressing. But this is a lot of flavor. It's really good. Again, sometimes it's best to mix up what you need for your meal instead of having a container of this in the fridge, which potentially could be calling your name, right? So there you go. Again, another great on your salads, great on your vegetables, raw vegetables, great sauce on chicken, something bright to have like open tomatoes with some chicken or protein of your choice. And, there's so many ways that we can just dress up our food. So I hope you have enjoyed my little series of sauces, and keep watching for the very next latest and greatest things out of Vicky's Kitchen. So, all right, take care, be well.